Hello and welcome back to round 2 back 9 coverage from the Las Vegas Challenge on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. You are watching JomezPro and you're here with BigSexyBarri commentary, Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
And with the winds down, the scores are also very low. Calvin Heimburg still leading the way on, or actually trailing by one to Paul McBeth and Eagle McMahon with great front nines. But they are actually not in first place in this event anymore. That title belongs to Ezra Adderhold with a perfect 9 under on the front. A lot of great scores out there to be had, and the back 9, not much is going to change. It's going to be a lot of green numbers.
Starting off on hole 10, par 4, 741 feet, out of bounds on both sides of this very wide fairway. A big hazard sand trap here on the right side, and then an OB golf green on the left. Players could go roller on a calm day such as this, or just huge turnover. Some of these guys could actually kind of push up there into a puttable range, I think, with a perfect shot.
He is going big roller.
This might be pushing through that bunk.
I think he is going to curl out of bounds right.
Just didn't get the angle he needed.
I would love to see him get that on a nice angle, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the guys who's always been known for his big roller shots, and this is such a great hole for a player just like Eagle. The way that he controls his angles typically.
It's interesting how a lot of these par 4s kind of have that little, if you have that extra gear, you can really push down the fairway and maybe get that 80-footer, 60-footer. With these being shorter par 4s, though, a traditional shot like McBeth just threw, not biting off a lot and putting himself in just great position for a 250-foot to 300-foot chip hyzer really into the green.
And that's probably the smarter play. I mean, the chances of actually getting that roller into a position where you'd make 2, not high. You'd go with a shot like this. This is probably 550 feet.
He's the break. Okay, just checked up.
You saw it just cruising past the 500-foot marker.
Just coming up within a meter or 2 of the out-of-bounds sidewalk on the opposite side of the fairway. See if Garrett can get this one right.
This is going at that bunker as well.
That's just overturned, kind of like McBeth's, just a little bit too much anhyzer, but even so, it still had enough flatness on by the time it hit the ground that it got a good 50, 60 feet of slide. Sit down.
Shot.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Calvin slides one up really nicely.
That grass on the green is so short. It's just really fun to watch these discs come in flat and just slide across the green, but really important to know how these discs are going to react once they get to the ground.
Shot, Eagle.
And look at that ground play still. I mean, coming up 5 feet short and still going 20 feet past the basket.
Eagle has this for par. There's a tee pad back there. Maybe he heard some people talking.
He's probably just telling him I'm going to make this putt.
He was looking at the flags. Said, all right.
For all the groups to let us
Left to right, good to go.
Probably, it was still under 2 hours.
Everybody wants to see those flags.
I like how one flag's going one way and one's going the complete opposite way.
That's a pro tip, though. Even though there's a flag on the basket like 15 feet in front of you, maybe turn around, see if you can find a bigger flag 200 feet behind you, get a wind read there.
On Calvin, surprising. Calvin did not look over at the flags for good luck, yet he still made his putt. Garrett back on the birdie train. Man, he started off so well, 6 for 6, and then out of bounds on 7, and then just kind of fell asleep there the last 3 holes in the front 9. Let's see if he can turn things around here.
On to hole 11, downhill par 3, 369 feet. Out of bounds golf fairway area, so everything up there on beyond that wall and into that grass is out of bounds, as well as a cart path on the right side. This basket is newly elevated, which makes a little bit of a difference with all these low-hanging branches. If you're right of the basket, as you can see there, some tricky putts to be had.
Oh, Paul has turned over his buzz to the right, and that is trouble behind the palm, and that is a very wide palm. That I don't know if he's going to even have a look at the basket.
There's even a little bit of drink over there, like his disc.
It's a little puddle.
Yeah. Kind of get lost in there.
Do you know that because your disc also went in there like mine did?
Somebody on my card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up in there.
Calvin powers through. He'll have those low hangers in his way. I bet he'll be able to find some kind of a straddle to get around them, though.
And props to the crew here at the LVC. A lot of these willows that were almost too low. Garrett's asking for a little help, and he gets it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of these holes, the willows were a little too low for, I think, most players' liking, and I think that they trimmed them a bit better this year.
I really don't mind it, especially if you have a wide open area to the left, kind of, with no limbs.
Serves as a little bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that aspect. I just think that, if it's like below the cage, I don't know. Good work with the crew. That's my point.
Yeah, hey crew.
Whoa.
Good work.
Eagle.
All right.
A lot of funny reactions on that
So
in that group.
So we got 3 great drives in
Play it where it lies. No, I'm only kidding. I honestly don't know.
Oh, it's
Okay.
it's like less about a foot into the tunnel.
I think it's pretty far in there, actually. Because I think it's like here.
I see it like right
can
next
see
to
it
that
right here.
stick.
What a strange lie.
How do you even
Why'd you have to
get
throw there?
I just realized that. I was like,
I
oh
did.
my gosh.
Oh, this is where you guys are?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were...
Mine went through the tunnel.
Okay, so he has established a lie, and of course he's going to try to still find a way to get to the basket, but can't imagine he's got much of a look at all.
He's lining up something, though. And it's not a layup.
Don't expect the layup here.
Nice putt.
No
nice
way.
putt.
No way.
Ew.
No way.
This freaking guy.
Ew.
That
No
was
way.
pretty nasty.
Okay, so he actually still had the low-hanging willows and the palm and a monkey tree, which is a made-up kind of tree that they have out here, and he went through all 3 of them.
Yeah, these guys out here, they need to get to work, actually. They need to plant some more trees for this guy. What is it? What do you got to do? What does the course designer have to do?
How are you going to leave that whole left side of the green wide open? we need
He
palms.
threw it into a drainage ditch in
Safe.
6 inches of water behind a palm tree with willows hanging below the cage from 40 feet.
In a bear cave.
And that wasn't enough to stop him from getting a birdie. That's just stupid.
Wow. A little slippery.
Go.
A little slippery.
And look at that, because that's an interesting star frame right there. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Great work from our lead card. Another $25 to the Edge Foundation. Once again, go to edgediscgolf.org and check out all the great stuff happening with Edge.
Hole 12, par 3, 396 feet. Blind from the tee pad. You want to throw kind of flat and wide and take your skip to the left to avoid that out of bounds cart path. There is kind of a big hyzer play too, but I don't know if we'll see it from these guys.
I'm pretty sure this is like the toughest hole in the world. I don't think I've ever seen a birdie on it.
I bet you're gonna see one shortly.
Yes. Do you guys struggle with this, or I feel like I don't know, something about it?
I did today, but I don't always.
Okay.
That's a little short
you might
from
say
Paul. A little short.
It did.
Just didn't quite get the width. If you throw it inside like that, you're gonna hit those hillsides, and it takes all your speed away.
I've seen that guy putt before, previously, on the
Yeah.
last hole.
I mean, if he made that putt, then that's like the easiest putt he's had all around.
This might be the one you've been waiting for, Uli.
Sit down.
There it goes.
Oh yeah, that's gonna have that little bit of a. It's gonna be an obstructed putt, but good distance. This is Garrett's glow firebird he likes throwing. Really, really overstable. Look at that ground play
Oh,
there.
wow.
That's so pretty. Just the curl around that at the end. Thing of beauty.
Is he going spike?
I did think somebody might.
Spike and Zeheise?
I was about to say that. Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Love it though.
What the?
I want to do that, but I didn't want to rip my arm off yet.
You did not even put any.
You put some.
Well, come on, Bird. Give yourself a little credit. You put a little pop on that thing.
That eagle was soaring up there for about 10 seconds. Jeez.
That's the good old flexizer right there.
Yeah. So McBeth with nothing in the way, just about 10 feet farther. Bit more downhill. That's what a course designer has to do. Just
And now he lays up?
jeez.
That was just something.
Come on.
Drop.
Now, Paul, you've enjoyed a long career, and you've seen a lot of things.
Airball?
But it looks like you're about to see something you've never seen before.
The bird.
Nice putt.
How'd it feel?
I mean, he still hit the tree and got the most amazing roll I've ever seen, but I mean, these guys didn't have
take it.
gimmies. I mean, Garrett's is kind of a gimme, but
Yeah.
it played tougher than it is. It's legitimately a little hyzer.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling birdie. Good feeling birdie.
It's like at that distance where you have to you're in between discs, but a faster disc, you could go be deep and you have to take a little off. And
Yeah.
You can't really stretch the other one.
I can agree with that. On to hole 13, par 3, 387 feet out of bounds down the entire right side and actually the left side as well with a string line. The real feature here though is this hazard bunker right in front of the basket. So difficult to throw it over the bunker but not go too far, not go right. We once saw quite an ace from Paul McBeth here. Hopefully see a little more magic from somebody on this card.
Calvin going eagle, and love to see where that would have finished, but yeah, that's if you want to swing one towards the basket, you really have to push those right side willows.
Gosh, rock 3.
Man, that must be nice.
I don't know how I mean, I'm sorry that it surprises me every time,
Yeah.
but it's just so impressive.
green.
I mean, he's kind of playing a layup here, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the plays. You want to go pin high, and you want to stay somewhere between like 28 and 45 feet left. That's really that's where the safest landing zone is, and still giving yourself a long look at the birdie. It's not going to go in.
Ooh, and that's actually pretty fortunate. If that hits that square and falls down, he's going to a drop zone with penalty. That area where that tree is growing is out of bounds.
See if Eagle can make the correction from the last hole to this hole, put a little bit more mustard on it.
Is this another?
Yeah.
This is another giant hyzer.
He's looking up
Looks
towards
like
the
that.
skies.
Another flex hyzer.
See if he can put at least a little power on it this time.
Dang it. Come on, Eagle.
Didn't quite hit his line. Plenty of power, though.
That's still in that money zone, and such a good putter.
Why are you not committing?
I gotta say, from personal experience, I was playing with McBeth when he hit that ace, and that was the hypest ace I think that I can recall. Just for the situation, last round, coming down the stretch, trying to chase Ricky, and to ace this hole, which was just, I mean, almost making the long putt. One of the harder holes to do, just because that landing zone is just brutal.
I think there's something about the fact that it's blind from the tee, and you can, and there's so many fans up there, and you can sort of hear the, and that just like makes the whole thing go even crazier.
If you haven't checked it out, go watch the 2017 LVC. It's worth it.
See if somebody can give this a go.
Garrett's the last one.
Garrett.
I don't think anyone's ever said their name while the disc is in the air, and it was a good shot.
Right.
Paul, you did it.
I've been calling myself Yules lately.
Yeah.
I never have in my life. Come on, Yules.
I kind of like it.
The heck, Yules.
Pretty boring way to play it for this group today. Nobody really got their tee shot where they wanted it. Pretty simple layups.
But pretty safe. And 3 it really is a good score on the hole. Not that many people birdied the hole in the day. I mean, 14 players, but that's out of 136 tries.
Sure.
Pretty tough hole.
And ballers.
Yeah, good 136 players.
Hole 14, not a short par 4. 798 feet, treacherous green, ball golf green OB, and there's just cart paths all the way around.
Pretty short par 4 for these gentlemen, though.
Yeah, but not for anyone else. If you can get over 500 off the tee, it starts to look pretty easy. Like, this is huge right here. That is way past that pine. Great shot.
That was big. That's over 500 feet.
I think so, too.
Just leaves a little chipper. Another putter shot into the green.
And that's actually a really important thing about this hole is that it is wide open off the tee. There is that little bit of out of bounds that if you don't quite get on your shot, you could potentially swing OB. But for most players, this is a pretty wide open hole. But if you don't get that big distance, you're going to have to throw a faster disc into this green. And with this tee being on the top of that hillside there, it is so important to get every bit of distance you can so you can have so much more control coming in with the approach.
In 2-3 years, I feel like this is going to be one of the easier holes on like a course that we play. With the, the way how good people are getting nowadays. This will be like an easy par 4.
But not this. I mean, today, this one, it's averaging right at par, 4.01. So it's technically averaging over par. It's the 4th hardest hole of the day. And that's just simply because there's some tricky things that can happen up there on the green. There is that golf green that's protecting the basket somewhat. So if you come up short, you will be out of bounds. But, I mean, for a calm day, a hole averaging over par on a course like this, that says it's actually pretty difficult.
Yeah, and another thing about that is it's not 2-3 years from now, right now, today. So, to your point.
Touche. That is so dumb.
This is a little bit left. Might have a putt. He will. He should have gotten underneath that low ceiling.
That'll be a very interesting birdie look for McBeth.
This looks like is it flipping up or just going straight left?
Just a putter, I think.
And that's okay.
Mirror you, Calvin.
Another nervy kind of up the hill, right to left crosswind. I've seen some tournament ruiners on this hole, on the putting green, that is. I think they moved it a little bit left. It used to be on that.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Tournament ruiner.
Maybe not ruined, but a slight hiccup.
No, we saw him yesterday take double on the first hole. No problem.
Yep. Just that slight incline. You really don't want to have to make a putt longer than 20 feet on this hole, but it's so hard to get the speed right that you don't do what Calvin did. The difference between Calvin and Garrett's shot was just a little bit. And the result is Calvin makes his par putt.
Great angle to see how far uphill that actually is.
Nobody is just, we joke about it, but how nonchalant Calvin is to the face. I mean, he's just so clutch. Like, that is not an easy putt to save par from 38 feet.
I think the word is unflappable. Unlike that flag on top of this basket, it is quite flappable.
Yeah, so flappable.
Garrett, again, can't stress this enough. I am so impressed with the way that he's putting that putt up right now. He is making putts from everywhere inside the circle and very consistent. Great putts from the whole group there. That could have been a completely different scorecard, but 3 birdies and a par.
Hole 15, par 3, 459 feet on the right side. Not a whole lot of out of bounds to worry about here, just a lot of distance. Luckily, the basket kind of down in this little bowl, a little bit friendly. If you do get close, it should kind of filter you closer to the basket.
Is Eagle going to throw a sidearm? I've been very curious to see if he just
absolutely.
spike hyzers a sidearm.
Absolutely, he will.
It's not very nice to do.
Look at this thing drifting. What a... Just the control. Oh my gosh.
What kind of disc you think?
Who knows? I mean, wow.
T-Bird?
Yeah, maybe.
Just perfect.
A little bit overturned.
Try.
No.
It's a slide.
Okay, just
Try fine.
at the edge of the circle short. So that's a birdie.
Wow. I just can't wait to see this real quick.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Oh, and he's got this one drifting left. And
It's probably a good tree.
He
yeah.
stayed in bounds.
Well, that was a bummer. The heck?
I've been excited to watch Eagle tee off on this hole for like a day and a half since I knew he was going to be on lead card. It's just exciting to see someone with this much distance for the forehand.
Let's just act like this was a sidearm.
Shot Calvin.
Oh, what a sidearm
What?
from Eagle.
I never saw one come in that slow. Oh, what a shot, man.
So impressive.
Eagle sliding up
Shot Calvin.
to the basket. Really not a lie.
Yeah.
God, that was terrible.
So good. Eagle using the little hillside to get the little disc action into that bowl. And I kind of like that feature of this hole that at this distance, if you get a shot near, it just funnels to it. And I think that you do earn that reward at that point. So it was more like 50, but it doesn't matter. It still is a birdie.
Great putt.
It's just a stripe show. Nothing but make could have happened there.
How long do you think the McBeth 50-foot and out putt compilation would be if it was just putt after putt, no filler?
Wow.
We've got enough
70 minutes.
We've got enough fans that have time on their hands. Somebody's got to do this. I mean, it just needs to be done for the sake of disc golf fanhood.
That's a lot of made putts.
How many miles do you think that would be? It's just crazy. Look, that's not his drive in this hole, is it?
That's a good one to get.
That is so stinking good.
On to the 16th. This tee pad pushed back and it's changed into a par 5 since last year. So this hole quite a bit longer, 888 feet, still rather short for a 5 though. Players have to hit a little bit of a gap coming out, big penetrating sort of hyzer to flat shot, and then you have a lot of options. If you get a big enough drive, you could probably disc down. There's also the roller into the green, a lot of different ways.
My name's Garrett Gurthie. I'm 31 years old and I'm from Gainesville, Florida. The courses really do play to my favor. I like punching the disc pretty far, so.
Baiting and switching is what Garrett's thinking here. He's going Emperor,
No way.
but he's heading right towards that out of bounds green unless that thing gets a big skip.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, is that on a green?
Yes.
With it being a little bit windy yesterday, I took advantage of that situation, got an eagle on a par 4 on hole 9.
Incredible.
Every tournament, there is a hole that Garrett gets that no one else in the field gets.
I used that hole as my advantage. Played pretty conservative yesterday and didn't make too many mistakes. So as long as I keep it in bounds and punch it down the fairway, I think I'm up on the people so far. I'm going for probably about 8 to 10 eagles this weekend. That'd be really cool. Here on the Innova course, I think I'd get a few more. So if they're rolling today, they'll hopefully come out on Sunday too. All things aside, no matter what's going on in life, you just kind of drop what's going on before you get on the course and go to your practice and know that you're here you got a job to do and everyone's competing for that #1 spot. So if you give it everything and leave the stuff off the course, come out here with a nice mental mind, play like the Rico brothers, you're gonna do all right.
And that's just such a good mindset to have. You just got to leave the bad things off the course, and maybe no more important time to remember that than the night or the day after your bicycles were stolen off your RV, which happened to Garrett and Jessica Weiss the night before this round. And that's got to be tough to focus in on disc golf when,
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
It's just a bummer.
A nice look into the kind of person that Garrett Gurthie is, though. He's once you meet Garrett Gurthie, you know who Garrett Gurthie is. He's a kind man. Makes good beef jerky. Throws a mean disc.
Your support. That's already good. Shot.
Big time.
Just range practice right here for these guys. It's just not quite far enough to really challenge these guys as far as 2 shots. I mean,
Boom.
especially with that open
That might be
hyzer.
past mine.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of getting on commentary and
got me.
talking about course design and stuff like that, but I feel like if you just
It was still
bump this
going.
tee pad up just about 10 more feet, it makes that gap a little bit tougher to hit,
Yeah,
and then we might be looking at a,
might feel more like that par 5 that they
Yeah.
call it.
because these are just little chip shots in here. And yes, of course, there's players in the field that really
Yep.
can't reach this hole.
Chop off.
Absolutely. But that doesn't make it a tough hole because then it's still a 2-shot layup and then
Right.
a 100-foot approach. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not looking at tough stuff here.
Well, it's the reason why it is the scratch easiest hole on the course at 4.17. So really, it's kind of like the scoring difficulty of a
Shot
tough
eagle.
par 4.
Sure. And if it gets a little windy, I mean, everything changes, obviously, at this course.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to talk about what feels like what when you just don't expect such little wind. I mean, we have seen the flag stick moving a little bit this round, but
A little mid.
I mean, like, all these are just short putts for eagle. This is just
It's all right.
awesome tee shots and approaches from this group.
That was just a mid-range into the green on an 888-foot hole.
Paul's been leaving himself at this distance, it seems like, half the time on this round, and
You would, what? I just fully expected him to make that.
he's been like make, miss, it seems like, the whole round.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a little low.
That was.
Hey, Paul, if you want to tap, James is right in my line. If that's okay.
Thanks for your help.
I was like, oh, I'm not icing myself.
Paul going back to the scene of the crime there.
Oh, we got a. That's almost an intergalactic frame of all eagles. We have never seen that, and Paul had to blow it with a low putt. I am just so disappointed.
Hole 17, par 3, 457 with OB down the entire left side. A little bit of a tailwind, if anything, today. So these guys got to get out a flippy driver, make sure that you can get it over just a little bit, because if it hyzers out, you're going out of bounds.
That wasn't that Firebird. No, that thing flipped up. Or if it is a Firebird, it's a flippy one.
Good shot.
Garrett to
Thank you.
edge of the circle. Good tee shot.
Eagle from Calvin again. Man, that's just a big shot with an eagle.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine. Let me imagine it. Right here.
You weren't imagining hard enough. That wasn't Calvin's best effort, but still, I mean, pin high.
Yeah.
If you, all you wanted to do was imagine it going the right distance, then there you go. Is,
Mid-range or no?
I mean,
Yeah.
is that what that is?
Get there, mid.
Get there mid is what Garrett says.
Nice crush, Eagle.
Why?
Almost.
I ranged this. It's not 457. It's 479. It's actually farther than what it says.
Yeah. Eagle.
480 feet. And he was like, oh, I think mid's the play.
Yeah. Eagle, or I mean, pardon me. Calvin goes eagle. Eagle says, "Hold my beer." And now Paul's going Luna. This
Hold
is
my
getting
matcha
out.
tea.
Yeah, this is getting out of control.
What
And
is
there's nothing out of control about this shot. Pardon me.
That looks
Yeah, that is really nice looking from Paul. Is it going to get that scoot ride? It's trying
It's
to.
his favorite spot today. Right there, circle's edge.
You're right about that.
Yep.
At what point does Eagle throwing mid-ranges this far, is it just kind of become more of a personal attack
what to
against
do.
us? Because
Yeah,
we're
I
going to
was
have
in
to
between
watch
my
it. We're going to have to,
fairway
every
and-
time, what are we supposed to do?
I
Honestly, felt like I can reach my rock 3 there, but
Yeah, I definitely. I felt that big gust of wind come. I was like, oh yeah, this is it.
yeah.
It's just 3 guys who are throwing 800-foot shots. Like, yeah, I think I could get my putter there, but I went with my mid-range instead. That's not disparaging their voice. That's just me doing terrible impersonations. That's. I think they have lovely
I thought it
voices.
sounded exactly like them. So, give you the green light on that one.
Eagle with this birdie look.
Oh, pay the man the
left.
mid-range birdie. Dang.
There's a tee.
Wow. Why not, man? This guy's shooting free throws.
Nice putt there.
Steph Curry from range, man. It's awesome.
Beautiful putt. Well, he missed the last one, so I feel like this has got to be the good stuff. Well, another jinx from the commentator.
Just a little bit
Did
on
he
the left
just point
side.
at me? I'm sorry.
I think that is what happened.
Definitely was
He's like-
giving you the please shut up.
Yules.
Come on, Yules.
Some good drives there, but just the one birdie.
Yeah. Wow. Second hardest hole.
Really?
Yeah, second hardest
I
hole.
guess the out of bounds does add up.
Still 20 players were able to capture the grade 2 there, but yep.
The signature hole, that snaking fairway of the 18th par 4, 720 feet, rising uphill to the elevated green. Players can make a choice here. Are they going to go big off the tee and try to clear the cart path, or are they going to lay up very short? Really, both options viable for this card, because even from the shortest layup, they're still going to have the power to go all the way to the green. Going to be interesting to see who kind of chokes up and who goes big.
Calvin going for the Halo Destroyer. Gonna try to go for that second landing zone. Big hyzer.
At 720 downhill, I feel like this is one that Eagle and both Garrett might, I mean, if they are feeling ambitious, might be able to throw this one to the green. Do you guys
Who
think?
knows? Like last round, this is the course we play, you know, who situation could call for something like that.
They definitely have the distance to at least get like a 90-footer or something.
Isn't this hole uphill?
Well, I mean, to the green, I don't think so. I
Really?
think it's playing downhill for sure. Yeah.
Let's take a look at Paul McBeth.
My name is Paul McBeth. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Huntington Beach, California. We're here on the West Coast, and it feels like it's been, man, a long time since we've had a season. You know, with COVID last year, we kind of got cut really short on our season, so getting those jitters and nerves again, but it feels fresh. Like, I'm excited about it. It feels good. We still don't have fans, but we have a lot of people here, so you can kind of still get that little bit of buzz going in the air. So I'm excited. It feels good to have this nervous energy again. Yeah, these courses, I mean, being on the West Coast, especially this time of the year, it's a lot more dry than what we're used to as the season progresses. So a lot of ground play on the course, and then being on a golf course, we have a lot thinner fairways, you know, so the skips are magnified, the spin, the rotation on the disc is shown. You know, if you don't have spin control, you're gonna have some big flare skips, you're gonna have some crazy thing happen, but you can also use that to your advantage, especially on some of these longer holes. You can get extra 50 to 100 feet of ground play. So using it to my advantage when I can, and keeping the spin under control when I really need that factored in. My game plan on hole 18 at Innova course is short drive. I don't see an advantage to getting up there and pushing the OB boundaries off the tee. I think the short play fits my game more, and then being aggressive on the second shot. Carrying the green shouldn't be an issue, and if I can put my shot where I want, I should be in the circle, if not circle 2, and I'm happy with that all day.
Nice little look into the mind of McBeth there as he approaches this 18th.
There it is. There's the chip tee shot, pretty much exactly where he threw his practice round. So that will set him up for a shot he's quite familiar with. That is looking so good. Gonna get some nice slide off the green. Oh, he actually just airs the green, and that's parked. No worries about a long 35-foot putt here.
Wow. Such a long shot to control it so straight, because it's out of bounds just about 15 feet left of where he landed.
Eagle skipping up there, and he is parked as well. Beautiful.
And this green does get fast on the back side of it and to the left there. It's not like they have a lot of room to bail out if they miss their height on their hyzer in really any way. So, like he said in his interview right there, that, you know, speed control and controlling that skip is super important. Oh, and then that guy just.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
think that was coming back in.
It's hard to say that what would have happened really, but that's a very overstable Firebird, and that was standing up on edge. That would have just continued rolling straight for a while. So I mean, either way, you hate to see that, but Calvin, that puts the brakes on that left side. That was close to being out of bounds, and we'll have 3 pretty short putts for birdie on this the hardest hole in the course. Garrett's just gonna take his medicine and lay that one up. And man, after a great start, he had that little hiccup in the middle of the round, and then look at his back nine thus to this point.
Yeah.
And he's gonna finish with another bogey, and overall great score. But it really was a round that what could have been. Oh, and a little drama there that stays in.
This is not an easy hole by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, no.
This is a tough one, and those are some really close approaches on a really hard green to hit.
It's 2 bogeys for Garrett and still shoots 12 under par. Incredible stuff. And
Let's take a look at our group from round 2. A lot of green, a little bit of blue, just that one bogey for Garrett that we just saw. Ezra, fire emoji,
Wow.
16 under, 1100 preliminary rating.
yeah,
Incredible. One of
And
the
a
greatest
missed putt.
rounds ever played at this event.
really was. I mean, not many 1100 rated rounds can be shot out here, and it takes a monumental effort. 2 eagles for Ezra. Super excited to watch his second ever round on Jomez during the 3rd round of this event. Thank you to the Founders Club. Without you, obviously, this coverage can't happen. So excited to bring you the second half of the 2021 LVC.